Welcome back. It's been some time. Episode 4 of Chillin with Dylan. Sports, music, life takes, the whole galore. A new hope. The location around me is a little different. A little context. I moved recently, so that's been going on. Started working a new job, so it's just been a lot on my plate. But I'm always wanting to deliver the best content, and always wanting to interview people who I have a high amount of respect for and good rapport with. And today with me, I have the lovely and very talented Miss Fatou Sam of Rice University. Welcome on board.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. So, a little background about yourself. What was you play college basketball now, but what was the first sport that you played growing up?
Yeah. It actually was basketball that I first started playing. I tell the story all the time. I got into basketball because I was a little chubby as a kid and my mom wanted me to get outside more. And so she actually forced me to play in this little church league. I'm Muslim. But she made me play in this little church league and just to get us going, me and my little sister. So we got into basketball and man, when I tell you I hated it, like we were the only girls in the entire league and like we just was always, like we just felt awkward during that age. And like, I was kind of tall and just
I,
trying to
I was
get.
just about to ask, were you one of the taller
Yeah, I
people?
was one of the taller ones. I wasn't that tall, but I was pretty tall and like, you're just trying to figure your way in, your confidence, and then I'm playing a sport that I've never played before. So it was just, man, I hated it. But little by little I started loving the game. So yeah, that's how I got started.
That's amazing. Okay, so your sister played as well, and
Mm.
do you have anybody else in your family who played as well to give you further knowledge, or you both just had to come up and on it on your own?
Yeah, well, we kind of had to come up on our own because both my parents are originally from Senegal, West Africa, and they played a little bit and a little bit over there, but like nothing serious onto the level that me and my sister were looking to play in the way I've played now. But yeah, no, we were kind of like the first ones for a lot of stuff, and that was one of the things. So yeah.
That's awesome. Mentioning Senegal, do you visit your home country often?
Not as much as I want to. Not as much as I want to. I went when I was, I want to say like 6, 7 years old, and I haven't had a chance to go back. But that's one of the main things that I wish I could do a lot more, just with our athletics and academics responsibilities that we have in the summer. And then I always had AAU, so we didn't come around to visiting home because when you visit home, you want to stay for like a good
Right.
amount of time. You don't want to just go real quick because the flight is expensive and stuff. So you just want to enjoy the moment. So I haven't had a chance, but we definitely plan to as a family. My parents make sure they visit pretty often. So yeah, we're still keeping very, very good in touch with family back home though.
That's important. Being you're originally from Texas.
Mhm.
and what, were you born in Texas as well, or were you born?
I was born in Houston, Texas. Yep.
Okay, so you're first gen, just
Yes.
like me. I'm a first. I don't know if you can see, first
Oh,
gen
uh,
Trini. First gen Trini and Bayesian on my father's side, and being from Texas, but
mhm,
you ended up, after a highly decorated, career in high school,
mhm,
coming out of the class of 2020, you ended up committing to
mhm.
University of California at Berkeley. Was
Yes.
it at all a culture shock to go
Yeah.
from down south to the West Coast?
Right. Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. In making my decision, I just wanted to go somewhere different and see a different group of people, be exposed to different different cultures and views and things, all that such. And Berkeley brought that. And so I'm real thankful for it. They were very you know how Texas is very pretty on the conservative side and Berkeley was more on the liberal side. So that itself politically was a different area for me for sure.
For sure.
And then culturally, it held all types of cultures from Asian to Pacific to just a whole range of people, which I'm glad for that diversity. I was definitely able to make some friends that weren't necessarily from this country and didn't necessarily have the same viewpoints or as me, which was nice to have. So yeah, yeah, it definitely brought that different culture shock for sure. Yeah.
I can only imagine. And then, what was your favorite moment as a both because you played 2 seasons there. So, what was your favorite moment when you played at
Yeah.
Cal?
I want to say favorite moment. Um, I think I have two favorite moments.
Okay,
It was so during COVID year, yeah, two, so I have two.
we'll play on the name.
Yeah, okay, so during COVID year, that was a really rough season for us and we struggled getting over the challenge of winning our first game. And so when we won our first game as a team, mind you, we haven't seen our family in like months because we weren't able to travel like you usually can. And we were just with this knit of people. So um day in day out we just struggled together, we won together, so when we got our first win that season, I'll never forget that against Arizona State. It was just like it was just you had to have been there in that moment. It just felt like, everything that we was working for, everything that felt like wouldn't go on our way, went our way. And we made it happen as a team, and that was a really awesome moment. That was a really awesome moment. And then I would say my second favorite moment at Cal. I don't know if this is a moment, but one thing I really appreciated was the different array of people that were on my team. We had girls from overseas, and I've never played with overseas players, so like that itself was brought just a different perspective to
Right.
my situation. And I was feeling homesick, but you can't even imagine what someone like that is going through. So those girls, I forever love them. So yeah, no, we just had different array of cultures, different people. Like I don't think there was anybody from Texas on the team. I think I was the only one from Texas. I hope I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I was the main one from South, so I appreciated that greatly. Just having, again, that diversity part on the team, and like it felt like we were traveling everywhere without even stepping foot outside the locker room. Like you were able just to hear everybody's stories, everybody's experiences, and yeah, that was awesome.
That's dope. Funny enough, I almost went to Arizona State.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah,
Yeah.
for, for their broadcast journalism program,
Oh, yeah.
in
It's a good.
another life, maybe
Yeah.
there's a different Dylan out there right now, out and
Right.
about. But,
Right.
that's dope though, and getting that first win after you've had like a long struggling year, it's like whoo,
Yeah.
finally breathe. I can finally relax. And I definitely understand like where you're coming from on that perspective. But so you ended up coming back home to Houston to Rice. What was your biggest motivator? Was it the
Yeah.
return to being around your family and whatnot, or was it also the better opportunity?
Yeah, yeah. I would say the main thing was just wanting to be back home, but also just new opportunity. And it wasn't anything that the program exactly didn't have, or that I just wasn't. I realized that when you get into a program, just looking at things that fit your box and some things that don't fit your box.
Right.
And when they don't, and that's fine. And so I decided to take my leave. And so I decided to come back home to Houston, which I'm very grateful for. Just this opportunity just to be back home and be surrounded by another group of girls that are also awesome. And yeah, I decided just to leave just for my own wanting to find a better fit
For sure.
as far as athletically. And so yeah, it wasn't anything that was negative. And I always say like I keep in touch with those people all the time at Cal. So yeah, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I think when you're leaving a place, it's always good when you can kind of leave both on your own accord and also without burning any bridges.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely, 'cause you never know. Sometimes you're like, hey, I'm back out and about. What's going on?
Right. Yeah, no. Those my people for real. We went through a lot my COVID year and then the year following that. So like definitely still keep those people close. And so yeah. It was the transition wasn't bad at all. And I'm very blessed into the family that I'm in right now. So yeah,
What's been your, because you're about to graduate now,
yeah.
congratulations, by the way. I mean,
Thank you, thank you.
be part of that COVID class. You guys went through it, coming
Mhm.
into college. You didn't get to have
Right.
that normal experience getting acclimated.
Yep.
And there's been other things been going on and whatnot. And then you
Mhm.
transferring that as someone who's transferred schools, it's not
Yeah.
easy. It's
Oh, you
process.
did. What?
I did. So I went from Hampton to Clark, and that was an experience. I did 2 years, just like you. I did two
Yeah.
years at the first school and then 2 years at the last one. So it's
Gotcha.
it's quite the experience. But so far, obviously you still have a little bit of time left. I mean,
Mhm.
it's only February, but
Yeah.
what's been your favorite memory or moment as a Rice player and a student?
Yeah. As a rice player, um, this is funny. When we had, I think it was last summer, we decided to do a kind of like, I want to say like a team trip, you would say, in the summer. And so we went to Galveston as a team.
Okay,
And I haven't done like I don't think I, well, you travel with your team all the time, but like a
right.
kind of like a team getaway, like a trip, like doing something like that, that was really nice. And we did it at Rice. And so that has to be my favorite moment. We just learned so much about each other off the court. And especially coming out of the last season, we lost a lot of older girls, and so we welcomed some new ones, and people had to step into some new roles. And so just we really dialed into the piece of just figuring each other out off the court, which now has translated into the chemistry that we feel and what we're going through right now. So yeah, no, we were on that we were on that Galveston beach. I remember they woke us up at what was it? I think it was like our second day there, second or third day out there. And so they woke us up at like 4 a.m. We had to get up. Everybody was kind of assigned duties, and
4
we
a.m.
4 a.m. We had a
I
scout.
would have
Man, what?
been.
Nah. And I'm not gonna lie, I knew it was coming. I knew something like that was coming. Like, where you like gotta
So
get out.
you were prepared.
I was prepared. Yeah, I knew something like that was coming. You got to get up early out your comfort zone, and just put besides your, I'm tired, or oh, I want to sleep more, and this, that, and that, just to get the job done. So we did like a little scavenger hunt. We were in the sand, and when I tell you I hate sand, I hate sand,
You
yo.
live in
It's
Texas.
just,
You from well, not wait. You don't just live in Texas. You're from Texas.
you know what I'm saying? But
And you
it's
hate
like,
sand? That's hilarious.
yeah, sand is just so, it just gets everywhere. And it's like, I don't know. I don't like sand. And the first activity that we did, we had to go to the beach in the sand. We had kind of like an activity where you kind of had to like dig through the sand, and we did a little boot camp. We did like, like burpees, push-ups. We did everything in the sand that you can think of. So you
Burpees on the beach?
but look, it
Oh
was, I think that
my gosh,
no.
that's
It was,
diabolical.
man, nah, it was crazy, but it just felt so, it didn't feel as bad knowing that you had girls around you that
You're
also,
going through it too.
we're going through the same thing, but we're all here for one reason. And I'll never forget that experience. That was really fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I'm just if I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. to do burpees on the
Um,
sand, shoot,
so,
I'm locking my door like you're not getting in. I'm not going.
nah, man, nah.
But
It was an experience for sure.
nah, it does sound like that your coaches were very creative and intentional
Yeah,
about making sure that well, sorry, you gals had a valuable team building experience
we
that
did.
you know
We did.
look back on and say, okay, we went through it together.
We did. We
But yeah,
did. It
you
was
I don't know if you ever seen Star Wars, but you and Anakin have the same exact viewpoint on sand. He doesn't
Oh,
like
really? I
yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
When we
need
get
to watch
the
more
chance,
Star Wars. That's on me.
when we get the chance, I have to ask you about because I heard you're a big movie buff, so I have to ask you about
I
that.
am.
But still sticking a little bit more to as a player, your scouting report and also the film eye test shows you're very inefficient. You're very sorry, efficient, not
Yeah.
inefficient. A very efficient low post player. You
Yeah.
you have a very big emphasis on footwork. having
Mm,
that back to the basket approach. But
yeah,
you also have great defensive ability. You were a great defensive player all throughout high school, and you're
yeah,
still at right now. What
yeah.
what else do you feel like is a valuable asset to making you the player that you are?
Yeah, yeah. I think a little bit about that transition into college, which I picked up that has only helped my game grow is just that the work that you put in off the scheduled time. So like, like the scheduled practices and the scheduled workouts or lifting or film sessions, just the the intensity and the way you use your time, and your attention to detail to the work you put in outside of that scheduled time. And so one thing that has helped me a lot is like being I don't know how you explain it, but like just being more dialed in and focused into the workouts you do when you're not with the team, when no one's in the gym with you, or the film session, the extra film that you watch on the team that you're playing, or just film on you in general, and just trying to grow your game in areas where you're not able to grow them as much when you're with like 15 other girls that the coaches got to worry about, like nobody has time to, I mean, we have time, but like, like you have to put in your own extra time if you care for the sport. And so yeah, no, that has grown my game a lot. Dialing more into myself, and putting more belief and effort into everything that I do off the side, outside of that scheduled time. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but
No,
yeah.
for sure. I mean, like you said, the work that you put in when nobody is looking and watching, it speaks volumes to the kind of
Mm-hmm.
that you are. Because there's I forgot what the term is, but I remember having a coach that said, like, you have players who they'll show out in practice because the lights are on and everybody's looking at them.
Right.
It's the players who take that extra initiative when
Yeah.
practice is over to
Yeah.
still be fine tuning their game, still be applying themselves, and trying to grow and expand their skill set. That's what separates the good and,
Definitely.
and the great players. And you mentioned something about watching your own film.
Mm-hmm.
That's something too that a lot of athletes kind of underrate in a way, because
Yes.
sometimes
Definitely.
when you're looking at your game, you're dissecting it, you can see, oh, I shouldn't have screened there, or I shouldn't have made this pass, or I should
Mhm.
I should have cut to the ball quicker. Like you just
Yeah,
notice different things and say, okay, next game or next practice, I'm gonna apply this step a little differently. So
I agree. I
that,
agree. Yeah, no, and it shows. It shows. Those small details might seem very insignificant, or like I can do it later, but it's everything that you put in outside the court. You'll be able to see it in the games or in practice. So it's important. It's definitely important. Yeah.
absolutely. So were there any players growing up in either the WNBA or the NBA that influenced you or were really inspirational to, you know,
Yeah.
your love for
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I would say definitely like Tina Thompson. Her game was awesome. I watched a little bit of oh man, I'm blanking on the name. That's crazy. That's so crazy. But the usual Elijah one. Um
That's a good one.
yeah, and then coming into college, I started watching a lot more basketball, and just because when I first started off, it was kind of just like recreational and like here and there, just watching basketball here and there. But like once I started doing like AAU and like approaching college is when I started watching more college games and a little bit of WNBA, and of course NBA was always there, but a lot more WNBA, and so. Yeah, no, yeah, I would say Tina Thompson for sure.
That's a good one.
In the Lodge one, I remember watching a lot of clips. My high school coach would break down some of his clips, and that's where I got the importance of footwork from, and yeah, just having that dog to go finish. So, yeah, 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 I would just say those two.
I mean, those were two players that in their respective leagues were
Yeah.
some of the best. I think Tina Thompson was one of the best players in the WNBA, and Elijah, Hakeem. And I get into debates all the time about like who was the best center, and I
Oh,
personally
really?
I personally think Hakeem was
Yeah.
could take everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just the skill set and
Yeah.
that footwork that just it's those type of that kind of play style. Same with Tina. She had
Yeah.
amazing footwork. She
Yeah.
had a great jumper on the low block.
Yeah.
Type of game and skill set that it does not matter how old you are or what
Mhm.
era of it is, play style, because the game's changed. It's a
Right.
very transmittable skill that
Yeah.
it's all about your fundamentals.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the game has like consistently, the usual back to basket is getting a little away from it, and just the
Right.
game is going in other areas that I just it's a race, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting, but yeah.
Do you feel like you being a back to basket player, you feel
Yeah.
like you're holding it down for the
Yeah.
crew out there that are still like,
Yeah.
yeah, we still gonna get that ball in the low block, post up, 1-2, make it just
Yeah,
drop.
yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I think, I mean, I would hope so, but yeah, no, what's it called? One thing about it, like throughout the years in college, I've just one thing that also led to the reason why I transferred was growing my game outside of just back to the basket and adding even more skill sets to what I can do on the offensive end. But yeah, no, I mean, but like back to the basket, it's like such a vague term, but it comes with so much, and it's a lot that a lot of people don't see, and a lot of details that go into it. So yeah, I love my position. I love the position. So yeah.
Look, you get a nice arc on your jump shot.
Great.
I could tell that you've been fine tuning your game, but I mean, as someone who I was a point guard growing up, I played a little bit of two, but
Gotcha.
I didn't reach your
Yeah.
height and all that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, you got to know where you
Yeah.
can best excel and where you
Right.
can make contributions. But I grew up, I loved big men play. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Tim Duncan.
Yep.
People used to think I was crazy for saying that that was one of my favorite players, but Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett,
Yeah.
Dirk, the older players like Hakeem, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, like
Yeah.
that. I love like watching big men, in the post, fighting for the position,
Yeah.
seeing the different moves. So whenever I meet players, today that are, you know, bigs and whatnot, uh,
Mhm.
it's dope to me that there's still people who still value that part of the game. So
Yeah.
it's not as prominent in
Yeah,
today's.
it isn't the flashy. It isn't as as like yeah. It can yeah yeah yeah, yeah definitely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, now looking at the landscape, the women's college basketball is huge. It's
Mhm,
probably bigger than it's ever been. I'd have
mhm.
to imagine. I'm not in the locker rooms and whatnot, but
Yeah,
from just the national landscape,
yeah,
what's that like being part of like this new era?
yeah,
Because frankly, I mean, I grew up watching college basketball.
yeah.
And I won't lie, like outside of UConn and
Mhm,
like Notre Dame and a couple
right,
others, those are the only ones in the women's that I was really looking for. But now I'm
yeah,
like, I find myself watching more women's college games than men's
yeah,
college. There's
yeah.
just more going on.
It is a lot more going on. I think it's super cool that people are finally, looking on our side, and it's been like this, but I think we have some really good players that are drawing a lot more attention, and it's kind of feeding into the others as well. The usual, Caitlin and Paige, and of course Angel, but like that there's even others that are starting to grow a name, and so I think it's really dope that we're starting to get a little bit more attention as it should have been. But yeah, no, it's awesome. I think we have a lot to go still, of course, so we
Right.
can get, and I think we're making new heights every year, we're starting to just grab a little bit more viewers. Even, you seeing Caitlin playing in a football stadium, so like that itself is so dope. And I'm glad we're reaching new heights. And I can't imagine what the next couple years are going to be like, when I go away from the game, or, like we got some new ones coming up. So yeah, it's only getting better, and yeah, better and better. I'm happy for it, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there was a time when people said the best team in Houston was the Comets, and it
Right.
was all throughout the sports leagues. And I grew up watching Cheryl Swoops.
Right.
She was
Man.
like the MJ of the WNBA to me. And then Maya Moore was one of my favorite college basketball players, like
Sure.
just universally. And I got to, she was actually at the, so I'll have to
Mhm.
include how I met you, but
Yeah.
she was at the symposium last year. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see her. I did see her. That was so, yeah, I got her book.
Yeah,
With
I
her.
did too. I'm
Yeah.
reading it.
That was
uh,
I which I also didn't know that she was gonna for some reason I didn't know she was gonna be there, which that was such a dope segment
right.
and super super important to have in there. And even when they talked a little bit at the symposium with the Atlanta Dream team that came out and talked, that was dope. So like us being more in those type of circles that you don't expect us to be in to make it more common to the point where people are looking a little sideways if we're not in those circles. So yeah, yeah, no, that was dope.
For sure. And I guess I'll include. So I met you and Malia at
Yeah.
the Sports Business Symposium. I think I met you. I met you. Did I
Mm.
meet y'all the? I think I met y'all at the networking event in that last day at the conference room.
I think so. Sorry, I'm plugging in my laptop.
No, so I got my laptop plugged in as well. I'm
Look,
like, oh, low battery, no nothing. We
look,
don't.
no, nothing. Let's not do that. But
But yeah,
yeah,
I met.
I think it was one of the networking events, or if not, maybe during lunch, during the lunch hours, that was really cool. Like you were able to kind of float and talk to whoever,
Yeah.
during those breaks. So yeah, that was that. I'm glad we met, cross paths for sure.
No, for sure. And I've been very proud to see you both excelling and doing really well.
For sure.
And that experience, because obviously, you know, you both are trying to take it to the next level. But do you
Mhm.
feel like you were able to make a lot of valuable connections in that experience?
Yeah, definitely. You're talking about the symposium, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, that was I was just talking to it with Malia, just how it was just a huge eye opener. And so me and Malia actually were kind of like the guinea pigs for our school, going there. No, seriously, we never like stepped into a room like that for our school. So
no, I hear that. It's just I've never heard like that be used for that. Like,
yeah, no, 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 no. We were kind of like, like the trial and error, just going, seeing kind of like that environment and seeing, in hopes for this year to have a lot more student athletes to Black student athletes to that are looking to be in that type of field of study,
for
to
sure.
step foot in that room and just have more funding in that. And so that was so dope. We met so many people, and people that like me and you, like, we're able to keep in contact to this day. And so yeah, that space was really cool. Really cool space, and it just opened your mind to like new opportunities, new experiences, and just people that were and obviously we were a little younger than the rest of the people that were there a little bit, so we were able to just yeah we were able to just bite off a little bit of knowledge from you guys. And just yeah, very blessed and very thankful for that experience for sure.
Well, I'm glad, and then likewise, it was amazing. It was amazing interaction with the both of you.
Yeah,
Ever since, so I do appreciate it.
yeah.
So I'm aware that you're a business major, correct?
Yes, I am.
So how do you feel like you're gonna incorporate that into your career in life? Because I know you probably that's been a big motivator to why you're
Nice.
going to things like the Black Sports Business Symposium.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I kind of both of my parents are actually business owners. My yeah, well my they
Congrats.
yeah, that
That's
they make it. I don't know how they made it happen as first timers in this country, but they made it happen when they first came out to Houston. I think my dad had he was in the food industry, and so he had a restaurant for a little bit, and
cool.
now he does a little bit more on the side of sales and enterprising and commercial sales and things like that. But my mom, to this day, she owns a couple salons in Houston for hair. I get my hair done,
Okay.
and
Oh, it looks good.
yeah, she gets me right, which I'm so thankful for, y'all. It's so expensive. Houston is so like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of competition out here, and so it's
Yeah, Houston and Atlanta.
yeah,
See it.
yeah, no. So she's thankfully she's had that business for about 21 years or so. And so yeah, so she's growing in that. And so I've always just been surrounded by business. And so it kind of just made the most sense to step into that field. And so right now I'm pursuing business administration management. And so a little bit of going to this symposium like that, I was able to see just how you can connect sports and business. And just business is so vast and so vague. Like you can go in many different directions, and especially sports business. So like, yeah, no, that was a really cool experience because I know prior to that I was leaning towards finance, which is really cool because I've always liked numbers a little bit, and I was blessed to have an internship to where I was able to work with a law firm, and I was able to do a little bit of financial planning and a little bit of like shadowing financial accounting and an accountant and things like that, which was dope. But after that symposium, it just opened my mind to a whole array of different jobs that I could do. It doesn't just have to be, just finance or just business. You can just go into so many fields with it. So, yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome. I mean, I didn't know that you had experience in the internship, and then also just
Yeah,
your parents, their pedigree of being business owners. But I mean, I'm not too surprised. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
A lot of people I know who their parents, they came from
yeah,
overseas and whatnot. Their mentality is like, look, I got to make the most of these opportunities. I got to hit the ground running, and
exactly.
all of I will say this, but pretty much all of my friends who their parents were from Africa, they were like, look,
Mm-hmm.
we were not playing games here.
Oh
This
God, yeah.
and it's like
So,
I feel like I can kind of make that joke, being Caribbean, it's there's
yes,
the mindset there too.
they don't play. They don't play.
It's like they don't play around. There's
Yeah, we're
no
not here for just
fun and games.
lollygag. Yeah, all these games, lollygag, and we gonna make something out of ourselves for
For sure.
sure.
So that's awesome though. But so
Mhm.
do you plan on playing pro after you graduate, or are you looking to go to grad school maybe?
Yeah. I'm looking to start my MBA next semester, but
Congrats.
in doing that, I've always had an interest in potentially playing for my national team Senegal. Because one thing about like just with sports, like one thing I've been thankful for is the travel and the way you can, just like I said, I had teammates from all over at Cal, and even us traveling, just meeting a different array of people, cultures. So I would potentially, I think it, if I can, if I'm blessed with the opportunity, I would love to play for my national team. I think such, and then anything that does come my way outside, after I finished doing basketball in college, I'm definitely open to. So, yeah, I'm kind of just what comes to me comes, and what goes goes. But like thankfully, I was able to be in an institution that kind of has the best of both worlds. So it can go in many directions. But yeah, I think God got it for now.
No,
Yeah.
well, it looks like your path is being lit, and then you come from you have come from a solid and sturdy foundation that is supporting you on your journey. So that's awesome, and I really hope you're representing your country and can play in the
Yeah,
Olympics. That'd be awesome.
that would be dope.
I,
Yeah.
I know we did it together. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always dope to see people that excel at the highest stage,
Yeah.
representing their country. You know what I'm saying? I think that to me is such a tremendous honor. So that I really hope,
Thank
knock on wood, that they give you a call and you're out there
thank
representing.
you.
So
Definitely.
and then NBA, whoo.
Mm.
So that means you have another year of school then.
I do. I do have a fifth year. I do have a fifth year. So, yeah, I plan to start my MBA, and so I really want to just get started on that master's and just go as far as I can academically, but then obviously basketball wise as well.
Oh, so you still have eligibility as well
I
to
do. I do have one because I had that COVID year.
okay. All
Yeah,
right. All right. Well, I know you're definitely looking forward to, maximizing that as well. That's awesome.
definitely.
I mean, with the 3 games left in the
Mhm.
regular season, you got, I
Yeah.
keep it's so natural to say you guys, but you
Yeah.
gals, I'm keep
Yeah.
trying
You're good. You're okay. You're okay.
you gals, you ladies, sit 15-11. What's your thoughts on this season and how,
Yeah.
it's gonna finish I mean, granted, I know you're only at liberty to say certain things and whatnot.
Right. No. We definitely can. We can talk about it. I think we recently we've kind of hit a little bit of a patch. Just we dealt with some early on injuries right when we were kind of like gradually headed up, and
Right.
so that kind of hindered us a little bit. But then again, it also boosted just people stepping into new roles. Me as myself, I started to start, and so just embracing that new role as a team, being faced with that type of adversity. We faced adversity in preseason, and it led us to win some tough games this year. And so I think everything's for a reason. And so right now we're getting our groove back and just going back on that upward slope. And like I said, everybody's playing their best basketball, so we want to be a part of that train, and we don't want to be left behind. And so like every day has been just the mindset of just gradually growing more than we did yesterday, and a little bit more than that, and a little bit more than that. So yeah, no, I think we're really excited for these next couple games, and just showcasing that where we want to be on part of that train, and we plan to be a part of that train some way somehow. But
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna
for
make it
sure.
happen. So yeah,
I mean, my eyes are gonna be glued to the TV
for
when
sure.
it's and brackets are being busted and whatnot. I hope I hope y'all can be the Cinderella.
Definitely. Hello, can you hear me?
You know, I might do things a little differently,
Yeah,
depth chart wise, schematically, but it's like I'm not the one with the X's and O's necessarily. I'm looking at it from watching from TV. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
definitely.
definitely think that y'all possess more than enough talent to really make a significant run in the tournaments. Hoping for the best. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. So, what's on who's on your pregame playlist? Because every athlete is different. Some people are like, yeah, I start out with smooth jazz or something that gets me hype, whatever. Like, what does Fatou play when she's getting ready to go out there and ball
So
out?
let's see. So it's usually for the day. I start off with a lot of duas and like something with the Quran. I'm Muslim, and so always got to get that prayer in. And so a little bit of that early on in the day. But once we start getting closer, um, I found that myself I can get amped up really easily. Not amped up really easily, but like I can overhype the situation to where I might, so I like to be very chill in my music, and so I love, love, love Coldplay. I listen to a lot of Coldplay. I do, yeah.
I was not expecting that.
I do a lot of Coldplay prior to the court, and very chill for the day, and just kind of like, calming yourself down, and a little bit of that. And then once we start to like, get started towards the game, the little baby gonna come in, the ESTG, you
I
know.
like that. See, that's like two different.
So it's two different moods for sure. But yeah, no, I kind of like flow into that. It's been one thing I think I just started getting into I just started getting into who did I just start getting into? Yeet. I just started getting into Yeet, and I feel like that like amped it up a whole nother level. That's a different array of nah, but it's cool music. It's just a little music just to get you going a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm kind of all over the place with the music selection. It just kind of depends what I'm feeling that day too. Sometimes.
So Vida Vida Loca. You play that or
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
that song by Coldplay? I used to rule.
yeah, Viva la vida. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. That okay. So you be bumping that
oh
sometimes?
yeah, most that.
We here.
We here. Oh, most
Okay,
that.
okay,
Most that.
okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
um, what's a hidden talent of yours? Because I mean, you mentioned that you have this great
Yeah.
business mind. You know about finance. You
Mhm.
love learning about other cultures and countries, and ball is life. You're out there hooping with the
Right.
what else do you what's in your bag that we don't know about?
Dang. Oh, I'm gonna look so boring. I don't know. I mean, I think I think, I don't know. I think I'm bored that day. I don't have no like, I don't want to say hidden talent, but like I tend to be always like, I don't know. I tend to be voted the funniest person on the team, or like I can make a person laugh. I know that. Or like,
Oh, I
yeah,
mean, I've
it's
laughed.
not like I can lay it on you like with jokes or nothing. I don't got that. No, 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 no. So don't ask me no joke. But like, I
Yeah, I
think
ain't no stand-up comedian.
yeah, no, 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 no. But I feel like I'm a people's person. So I guess you could say that's my hidden talent. I like to see people smile. And so yeah, I guess yeah, that's a little boring. Dang,
I'm
I
look.
gotta start trying new stuff.
You
Yeah, that's it.
got
Yeah.
another year. You got another year of school. You know.
Right, right.
But I think being a people's person is something that is
Yeah.
very valuable, and being that you're in a position where you're in the spotlight, the
Mm,
microscope is on you, you know, whatnot. Being able to use and really prioritize that emotional intelligence of knowing where you are, but also, you know, being inviting and welcoming people in, it draws people to you. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you and Malia were very friendly. You know, I just started talking to y'all. I was like, these ladies a little tall. I mean, I'm not no short fry out here, none. Just putting that out there. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
say what's up. I'm like, I'm 99% sure they either play basketball or volleyball, and
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, we go to Rice, we play basketball. So yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. There you go.
You was
But
right.
those people skills definitely can take you very far because people
Yeah.
they remember that, like, oh, I had a really great interaction and a really
Hmm.
experience talking with them. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm boring, y'all. Sorry. I mean, I could braid, but
Fake
that's
humble out here. She said, "You say
yeah,
you can breathe?
I can braid. Yeah, but
Oh,
that's
see,
because like obviously my mom has a braiding shop, so I kind of obviously, but
so do the team do they go to Mama Sam
couple
or
of
do
them,
they you when
yeah,
they get their hair done?
they do. They do. A couple of them go get their hair braided. She does sew-ins and all that good stuff. So if y'all in the Houston area, let me know. I got
Hey,
y'all.
ladies, come in. You out in Houston and you
Yep.
get your braids and hair done.
Right,
You know, I don't got enough for that right.
right. You good. You good. I mean, we could work with some. You
You
start.
know, I might like I it's funny, like I had a little bit more hair.
I was gonna say, I remember you having a little bit more like a little fro. Like you had a
Yeah,
little fro.
little
Yeah.
taper. Yeah, yeah. I used to have like a full blown afro.
Oh
So
wow.
to go from all that to
Yeah.
braids, it's quite the progression. But I've only braided up my hair
Mm.
like once, and
Okay.
I wasn't able to get like a lineup or nothing like that. And then I've twisted my hair a
Yeah.
couple times.
Okay.
So I've thought about, you know, if I do grow out my hair,
Yeah.
trying some more styles and seeing what works.
It'll be good for you. It'll
No,
be
so
good.
if I'm ever in the Houston area,
Let me know. We
I
got
know somebody to hit up. You know,
you. Yep. True.
support black business as well. So
Got you. Yep.
appreciate it.
True.
Okay, and then you also, you know, you're a movie buff. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Coraline. I love, love, love Coraline. I don't know why. I like that a little bit of that dark theme and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I that's like my comfort movie. And then like I do love rom coms and like those are always like comfortable. But Coraline got to be my favorite movie for sure.
Coraline. What any love for Love and Basketball?
Okay, yeah, that's a cool movie too. But it was a little like that. Like some of the stuff that was going on in that movie, I was like, what I'm saying? That ain't really realistic.
Oh,
It's a classic. It's a classic.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
nah.
I mean, because I've met a lot of and I always ask, like, people are like,
Yeah.
why do you ask this question? But I'm like, because it's just a perspective thing. And I ask every guy basketball player and I ask every girl basketball player, have you seen
Yeah.
Love and Basketball? Because that's like the quintessential, basketball and love. But
It
that's worlds. And the answers and responses that I get, the guys is usually like, oh, I love the movie. Some of the girls is like, he made him play one on one for his
That's what I'm
what?
saying. Like,
What? She
oh,
didn't see all this. That was right.
right. Like,
I always think it's funny. I'm like, they tried their hardest to make like Sanaa Lathan look regular. Like
like
people
what?
wouldn't be beating down the door like, Sanaa,
Come
give me
on.
a chance.
But we know. We know.
I would have been one of those ones too.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
at
you.
the game like, yeah. But she might have been able to get me one on one. I mean, before when I was in shape, playing shape, who knows? But
Yeah. I got you.
so it's looking ahead, right? As far as with the tournament coming up,
Mhm.
what's your prediction for where
Yeah,
it's going to be?
yeah,
Realistic, but
yeah, yeah. On Wednesday, yeah,
talk,
yeah, for sure. I think we'll be able to make a real big impact. I think the one thing that we noticed with the American though is that it's up for grabs. Like everybody's playing.
yeah. I was looking at the standings.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, you
records
know.
are all very
Yeah,
close.
no, I'm telling you, A plus B don't always equal C. So
No.
I think we have the ability and the confidence and just the belief in ourselves that we can and we will make a strong impact in the conference. And so with standings and stuff, last year we were thankfully able to play postseason basketball, which a lot of teams don't get to do. We were able to compete in the WNIT. So yeah, no, like similar feeling of we want to keep playing our best basketball. So yeah, whatever we can get done, we're gonna try and get it done so we can keep playing. Yeah, in March. Yeah, keep dancing.
Keep on dancing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Malia do, and I'm gonna be rooting
Yeah,
for y'all. There's several people who I've met at
mhm,
either the symposium or the NIL summit that I've
yeah,
gotten to be able to connect with, and I'm rooting for y'all to all succeed, and go far. Now I'm a little biased because I mentioned UConn earlier. UConn is
yeah.
the school that in my family on my mom's side, I mean, they thought I was gonna go there. I
Oh, really?
uh,
Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah.
and my mother's originally from Connecticut too, so it was
Okay.
the
That makes
connection was kind of there. But
that
but
makes
I'm gonna still be rooting for y'all, and I want to
sense.
see y'all
Wow.
succeed. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But it's been a pleasure to have you on the platform and talk. And like I mean, you're the furthest from boring. Anybody who says you're boring is clearly
Thank you.
delusional. They don't
I
know what
appreciate
they're talking
that.
about.
I appreciate that.
And I'm rooting for you as far as everything else. It seems like you have a lot of great things in store for yourself, and you come from a very good foundation that is has
Mhm.
gotten you to this point, and is going to
Yeah,
keep allowing you to grow and flourish. So just keep doing what you're doing. You got
definitely.
it, figured it out.
True. I
You
got
got
you.
the juice. You know what I mean? Like,
All right, the juice. Well, I appreciate you having me on here. This is so dope, and just I'm thankful and want to thank you for bringing more attention to the girls' game. So,
got you.
yeah, for
Got you.
sure.
Y'all, I've known a lot of great women hoopers my whole life. What I'm saying,
Yeah,
actually, funny story, like very quick story, but I remember there was a girl who I liked
yeah,
in sixth grade,
yeah.
and I tried to be on some love and basketball thing with her. I, if I win this one-on-one game with you,
Right,
you gotta let me, take you out to get some ice cream. And
right.
that ice cream date didn't happen. Let's just put it
Uh,
that way. My jumper was not falling. I was a little bit too much in my head, and my friends were like, "Wow, like
yeah.
normally you're Mister Showboat,
Mhm.
flashy. Like, where was that?" And I was like, just
Got a little
I
nervous.
got just had a little bit of the jitters. I didn't show up to produce, so and I don't even know. I don't even think she ended up playing basketball still. I think volleyball was her main sport. So that's they're like, dang, and
Yeah,
you play basketball year
yeah.
round, and you
Right.
but game respect game. I respect anybody who can go out there, get a bucket, play great defense,
Yeah,
and do the things that's needed to get a victory. So,
yeah, definitely.
it's dope to support and see, all the young black talent because,
Yeah,
we need to get y'all
yeah.
props and praise as much as
I
possible.
agree. I
So
agree. Most definitely. Thank
once
you again.
of course, and thank you as well for coming on the podcast. And I'll wrap things up. But this is episode 4. I had amazing guests with me today to speak about her journey, speak about her career, where it's going, and other things that make her the amazing person that she is. And support. We'll
Yeah.
be on the lookout. WNBA teams. If you need somebody who can, block some shots and play in the low post, got you right over here. Coming out of Houston, Texas, and you know, Olympics. It's a lot going forward. But yeah, it's been great to have you in episode 4, chilling with Dylan. We're wrapping it up, but thank y'all tuning in. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on Instagram for more updates and whatnot. I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm figuring out all my scheduling and whatnot. But it's been great to have this interaction, and stay tuned for more great content on the way. You have a great rest of your weekend as well. I know, midterms and all those things is coming up, so best of
Yeah,
luck with that too.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all.
All right.